My name is Jan Benham and welcome to the Institute of Aromatherapy. Today's topic is the use of essential oils in pregnancy and childbirth. So aromatherapy is a therapeutic and complementary treatment that reaches the very core of our senses through touch and smell, using scents from aromatic oils to heal and uplift the body and spirit and make us feel mentally and physically healthier. Essential oils have been used during childbirth for centuries by early midwives to heal and deaden pain. One of the substances used, ergot, which is a fungus that helps the uterus to contract, is still being used today in a derivative form. It's used after birth to help expel the placenta. As the use of drugs during labour and delivery increased, midwifery and the prices of aromatherapy seemed to be lost. During the 1940s, a new wave of childbirth, natural childbirth, was born, which included breathing methods, relaxation and massage to aid labour. The time-tested healing powers of aromatics has been reborn, demonstrating the important complementary role that aromatherapy can play during pre- and postnatal care. And I know this myself because I've taught a lot of nurses and midwives who use the use of essential oils now in their pregnancy practices. And also doula nurses as well, doula people as well, who help in the delivery of babies. So what are the benefits of aromatherapy and aromatherapy massage in pregnancy and childbirth? Well, A, it relieves stress, aids in relaxation, improves the flow of energy and minimizes fatigue. It is revitalizing. It helps improve skin tone, maintaining the skin suppleness and elasticity, thereby help preventing stretch marks. It improves the lymphatic system, thereby helping in the elimination of toxic waste from the system. Circulation is improved. It induces a general feeling of well-being, tones the muscles, helps with aches and pains, tiredness, and minor ailments, and also prepares for childbirth. Regular aromatherapy helps keep the whole system relaxed and in harmony. So that's how it works. So the methods of use, essential oils perform their therapeutic abilities in two distinct ways: by absorption through the skin, topically through touch, compress or baths, and through our scents by inhalation. So through the skin, the most common ways of working essential oils into the skin are body, foot and facial massages, baths, showers and compresses. And how does the essential oils get into the skin? Well, they travel by the way of the hair follicles, diffusing into the bloodstream or goes into the lymphatic fluids, at which point the organic therapeutic ingredients of the essential oil are broken down and used. It can take from 20 minutes to 7 hours of for oils to be applied to the skin to be fully absorbed into the body. So it depends on the amount of body fat. The more body fat there is, the longer it takes. And this is why you should not shower or bathe directly after treatment, like a massage treatment, in order to get the full benefit of the massage. So massage helps relieve stress, promotes relaxation, eases muscle pain, and improves skin tone. Aromatic baths can be used to be detoxifying and toning, as well as being refreshing and reviving or calming and soothing, depending on the oils being used. Sitz baths are particularly helpful just after childbirth for washing and soothing the genital area. Now, they can also be used in smell. So the aroma from aromatic molecules can trigger brain responses that can stimulate, sedate, or relax us. Aromatherapy is very effective in situations where the heart rate and respiration are affected by stress, such as during labour and childbirth. The most common ways of receiving these benefits are by inhalation through steam, room atomizers, or in a diffuser. So I'm never going to I'm going to go into the next one. So the essential oils that we use in pregnancy. So aromatherapy was introduced into the UK. Since aromatherapy has been introduced in the UK, mothers-to-be have used essential oils during early pregnancy, including many of the so-called forbidden oils. And to date, no ill effects have been reported. Now, many of the oils contain a chemical that would be deemed unsafe or toxic. And if this chemical was to be used on its own, it would be unsafe. However, when used in the natural state, not singled out, the damaging effect is not evident. Many of the books talk about contraindication and toxic effects, etc., and not without cause. And their advice must always be taken into consideration. And you are to err on the side of caution. So there are a certain amount of essentials that I would suggest that you wouldn't use during pregnancy. So these are oils that basically increase your flow of menstruation, for example, and they would be best in your to avoid list of essential oils. So there has been a lot of controversy about using essential oils. I've even seen lavender being banned from using in pregnancy, which is to me, absolute nonsense. So oils that I consider to be used safely during the whole of the pregnancy would be cypress, eucalyptus, frankincense, ginger, neroli, niaoli, patchouli, petitgrass, rose, sandalwood, tea tree, and ylang ylang. And then you have oils that are basically mild diuretics, or they have these properties that increase the flow of menstruation. They are considered to be safe to use during the whole of pregnancy, unless there has been a history of miscarriage. And these would be considered like bergamot, black pepper, Roman chamomile, German chamomile, frankincense, geranium, grapefruit, juniper berry, lavender, lemon, lime, mandarin, marjoram, myrrh, orange, peppermint, rosemary, pine, spearmint, tangerine. So I would consider all those oils to be safe. But if you had a history of miscarriage, then I would just suggest that you don't actually apply them. Although you're going to be using mandarin, for example, is very safe. So that is up to you. As an aromatherapist myself, when I've been pregnant, I wasn't going to give up my work, so I was more likely to be exposed to toxic aromatherapy oils during my time of being pregnant, because I was using them daily on my customers. And also my business is aromatherapy oils, so I am decanting essentials, all sorts of essentials. So if anybody is at risk with problems of pregnancy, it would have been myself or any aromatherapist or somebody working in the industry. Believe you me, there are more toxic things lurking underneath your kitchen sink or in your bathroom, what you're cleaning with on a daily basis, than the essential oils. And that is my take on this. But I will go through the ones that I would suggest just to avoid in the meantime. There's a list C, and then there is a list of best to be avoided. And I've written in red here the ones that I would suggest that you do avoid. So for example, almond bitter, I don't even sell it. Aniseed, I don't even carry it. Baldo leaf, bouchot, calamus, camphor, clary sage, I think you could use in a moisturizer, like in small amounts, but it's mostly used for use in labour. So most people do not suggest using clary sage as a treatment. So you're talking about much higher quantity of drops than in, say, a moisturizer, where you might be one drop in your whole moisturizer. I won't worry about if it's in your moisturizer, let's say. Horseradish, hyssop. So most of these are not even sold. Mugwort, mustard, nightshade, and so on and so forth. Parsley seed, pennyroyal is a known one, and sassafras and tansy. So they are known to be toxic essentials anyway in larger quantities. They all have their use though in medicine. So they mostly even don't even suggest you use them in aromatherapy oils. So I've written down here the most useful essential oils in pregnancy. I'm not going to read them all out, but these are the ones I would have in my kit if I was a therapist treating somebody with pregnancy. So there are certain things what you can help with during pregnancy, and we will look at that next. So the next thing is looking at specific disorders. Well, they're not disorders, but things that can happen when you're pregnant. So for example, morning sickness. So one of the first indication is that you get sickness in the morning, and it can also happen any time during the day. This is most common through the first trimester, and sometimes it carries on and on. So everyone is different on how they react. So one suggestion is, of course, you eat some things like ginger biscuits and stuff like that. There is herbal mixtures you can take, like ginger tea, which helps. And of course there's certain vitamins suggest as well. So if you're really nauseated, applying peppermint as well can help. Even putting a drop of peppermint on some sugar just to help with that. That also is good. So I have got some here concerns and aroma application. So for example, backache, constipation, suggested with you have a foot bath or a sitz bath. Cramps, for example, fluid retention, what essential oils and blends you can mix up for yourself. And so I've got aromatherapy applications, and also things for specifically, which I found very helpful, is things like stretch marks. I started applying as soon as I was pregnant, actually, even before I was pregnant, because I knew I was going to get pregnant. I made myself a blend as an anti-stretch mark formula and started applying that to my skin on a daily basis and carried on all the way through my pregnancy. When I finally did have my baby, my skin went back. I didn't have one stretch mark. I might have had one, tiny little one, and that's gone away since then too. So it did help. I mean, I might have had the excellent skin for that too, but I've noticed that with my clients when they become pregnant, I've immediately got them on applying an oil blend with essentials like frankincense and lavender and mandarin on their body on a daily basis, possibly twice a day, and then to keep going while the skin stretches, basically, especially on the tummy and also on the top of the legs as well. But don't forget the lower back, because that also spreads out too, and that's where a lot of people will get stretch marks on your bust area as well, of course. And then there's varicose veins prevention as well. So all these are things that have worked for me and worked for my clients. So these are not just information as in a medical text. It is being applied and used, so you can read that and use it yourselves or suggest it for people. For labour and birth, I had my own little blends made up for that, and it does seem to help. It doesn't help everyone, but specifically jasmine and clary sage, it's awesome. And one lady did say it didn't help her pain, but she felt she loved the aroma so much she kept on buying it afterwards as a perfume. But it does help some people with the pain relief, and I also think the massage helps as well, massaging the lower back with the jasmine and clary sage. The clary sage helps to open everything up and helps with the uterine extraction and so contraction and so forth. Okay, so definitely using a labour massage oil that I've put in here, a recipe for you. Afterwards, I know myself, because of course I was already an aromatherapist when I gave birth. I bought myself a bottle of cypress and some sea salt with me to the hospital, and I did have a sitz bath pretty well immediately after giving birth, and I put a couple of drops of the cypress and some sea salt in the bathtub. It was just a sitz bath, so it was just a small water bath, and I sat in there for as soon as I could, and immediately I found I healed very well afterwards. So that was something I did for myself. I think the nurses thought I was a little bit nuts, but that's okay. So there are suggestions there for concerns afterwards, for expelling the placenta, and also for things like postnatal depression as well, which occurs. There's things to help you as well with breastfeeding, such as drinking fennel tea, for example, to help the blood flow, for example. Just be careful, don't apply essentials around your breast area when you're breastfeeding, because obviously you don't want to get the essentials directly in the baby's mouth. So that is, again, but you can still apply before you go to bed if you're not going to breastfeed that night. Apply something to help with preventing of stretch marks, and certainly things like helping yourself with cracked nipples. We're using almond oil and vitamin E. I'm going to let you read through at your own pace, and there's some suggestions for you to take care of yourself. So there is a therapeutic cross-reference chart for you to refer to for backaches, cramps, cystitis and so on, edema, and you do your mixing and blending the same way as you would do normally. So next thing we're going to look at is childcare basically. So I hope this is helpful, and look forward to next time. Bye for now.